Good day, everyone. Today, we're diving into the world of computer mediated communication, or CMC. So, CMC refers to any human communication that occurs through the use of two or more electronic devices. So, in our daily lives, we use CMC when we send messages on Messenger, email a professor, or even comment on a friend's post. So, it's not about the medium. It's about how the use of technology helps the way we speak, write, and interact. So, this report explores the different forms of CMC and how it influences language, structure, and behavior, and clears up common misconceptions surrounding digital communication. So, let's take a step back to understand how CMC began. In the 1960s and 70s, ARPANET, developed by the U.S. Department of Defense, laid the groundwork for digital communication. So, it enabled researchers to send messages across connected computers. And by the 1980s and 90s, email became a dominant form of communication. And online bulletin boards like BBS and forums allowed users to post messages and replies. And then came the 2000s. Social media platforms like Friendster, MySpace, and eventually Facebook revolutionized online interaction. So real-time chat, voice, and video calls followed. So in each era of CMC reflects the tech available at the time and the communication needs of the users. CMC has unique characteristics that set it apart from face-to-face or traditional written communication. First is fluidity, the ability to edit, delete, or resend messages instantly. This real-time editing makes communication more dynamic and often less formal. Next is anonymity. Users can hide or alter their identity online, influencing behavior. Anonymity can encourage openness, but it can also lead to toxic interactions. Other traits include asynchronity, message sent and responded to at different times, and multimodality, use of text, audio, images, and video in one platform. So these characteristics shape how we interpret tone, intent, and meaning.
And now, let's explore the most common forms of CMC. First, we have email. Email is often asynchronous, used in academic and professional settings. It is generally formal, structured, and polite. We also have instant messaging. On the other hand, is real-time and casual. We also have platforms like Messenger, Telegram, or Viber that allows us for a quick conversations and even the use of stickers or voice notes. SMS, though less dominant today, is still used for quick personal or business alerts. Despite character limits, SMS sparked the creation of many internet acronyms and shortcuts that we still use in chat apps today. And beyond everyday tools, there are other forms of CMC that support topic-based discussions. First, we have the listservs. These are email-based discussion groups where members receive and send updates or content via mailing lists. We also have newsgroups that work like online forums and allow users to post and reply to messages under specific categories. And we also have blogs or weblogs, where individuals or groups post regular entries, ranging from journal-style reflections to expert advice. These platforms support asynchronous communication and often build online communities around shared interests. Moving on to the virtual environments in social media. Virtual environments bring interaction to another level. MUDs or multi-user dungeons, and MOO or MUD object-oriented are early forms of text-based virtual worlds, often used for gaming or collaborative storytelling. Chat rooms allow multiple users to engage in real time conversation, often with strangers based on shared interest. Then there's social media, which dominates today's digital communication. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or most commonly known now as X, and Reddit support multimedia messaging, commenting, sharing, and liking, offering layered communication that is public, private, and communal all at once. And now, onto the linguistic variables. The language we use in CMC depends on several linguistic variables. The purpose of communication, whether academic, professional, or casual, affects tone and structure. Device constraints, such as typing on a phone versus a computer, can influence spelling, grammar, and word choice. Then there's technological features like emojis, GIFs, autocorrect, and predictive text. User, demographics, age, cultural background, digital literacy also play a role. Younger users, for example, may use more internet slang and emojis, while older users may prefer complete sentences and traditional punctuation.
Now we have the linguistic features in CMC, such as emojis, emoticons, and of course, symbols. In face-to-face communication, we rely on facial expressions, tone, and gestures to express emotion. In CMC, we have emojis and emoticons to fill the gap. Emoticons like colon, slash, or hyphen in a close parenthesis to indicate a smiley face were early symbols made using punctuation marks. Emojis, on the other hand, are graphical icons like crying face, smiley face, or a heart, provide more visual expression. They help clarify intent, soften tone, and reduce misinterpretation in digital messages. Flaming and anonymity. Anonymity in CMC has its own downsides. Flaming refers to the use of aggressive, hostile, or offensive language in digital interactions. When people feel anonymous or distant behind a screen, they may express themselves more rudely than they would in real life. This can lead to arguments, harassment, or cyberbullying. Flaming often occurs in comment sections, gaming chats, and forums. Understanding this behavior helps us see how the platform design and moderation and community guidelines play a role in encouraging respectful digital communication. Shortened language and conversational influence. CMC has given rise to many abbreviations, acronyms, and slang that mirror how we speak in everyday life. Terms like LOL or LOL, which means laughing out loud, BRB, which means be right back, and TMI for too much information, save time, and reflect casual tone. This style of writing is fast, playful, and efficient. It also mimics the spontaneity of spoken conversation, even though it's written. Over time, these expressions have made their way into spoken language and even pop culture, showing how CMC influences how we talk on and offline. Myths versus reality. Many people believe myths about CMC. One is that it's destroying language, but in reality, language is always changing, and CMC is just part of that natural evolution. Natural myth is that all online communication is casual, but think of professional emails, academic forums, or LinkedIn messages. Many still follow strict formal rules. Lastly, some say that CMC is replacing face-to-face interaction. While it can reduce physical meetups, it also helps us stay in touch with people across long distances. It's not a replacement, but it's a supplement to in-personal communication. It's not that bad.
The next topic that we have is about how online communication or CMC changing the traditional way we use language. CMC is influencing traditional language in several ways. First, integration of internet slang. On the internet, People create and use new slang words or short forms to communicate faster. These slang words become so popular that people start using them in real life, in speech, in school, and even in media. For example, the word Google used to be just the name of a website. Now we use it as a verb. People say, I'll Google it. That means I'll search it online. Another example is DM, short for direct message, often used on apps like Instagram or Facebook. So instead of saying, send me a private message, people now say just DM me. So language is growing and changing because of the internet. These slang words become part of our everyday vocabulary and even enter the dictionary. Second, we have shortened text structures. When people chat online or send texts, they want to type quickly. So they often skip words, use abbreviations, or shorten sentences. For example, instead of typing, I am going to be late, someone might type, gonna be late, or just late. Instead of typing, what are you doing, people type WYD to make it short. These habits of shortening text can affect how we write in formal situations, like school essays or reports. It becomes harder to switch back to proper grammar and sentence structures. Lastly, we have new writing conventions. Online writing is often less formal than traditional writing. People now use lowercase letters only, even for names or the word I. There is no punctuation like periods or commas. They use emojis instead of words to express feelings. For example, instead of typing, I am happy to see you, someone might write, so happy to see you, then use smiley or smiling emoji. These changes make communication quicker and more expressive, but they can also weaken writing skills when people forget proper grammar or punctuation. In conclusion, CMC or computer mediated communication is now a big part of our daily lives. It combines spoken language and written language. It helps us connect faster and easier, especially online. But it also changes the rules of language. We are seeing new words, new writing styles, and shorter messages. As technology keeps growing, our way of communicating will also keep changing. It's important to adapt, but we should also remember the basics of traditional language, especially in school and professional work. And that ends our presentation. Thank you for listening and watching.